Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bet Show for soccer. My name is Ethan Kershaw, and as you probably already know, I'm your daily fantasy soccer analyst. Today, bringing you a two-game slate on DraftKings for MLS Soccer. We've got MLS Soccer finally back with an awesome season. We're a couple games into the season already, and so today we're going to be talking about two different games. We've got the Chicago Fire versus the Montreal Impact, and then we've got Orlando FC versus New York Red Bulls. But before we dive into that slate, make sure, please, to like this video, and then also head on over to Pat's channel at Mayo Media Network and subscribe to the channel. It'll really help us out. Also, make sure to subscribe to Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets, the Mix podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. Leave a 5-star review. It'll really help us out. Also, you can head on over to Twitter. Follow me at Ethan Kershaw 9. Where I'll help you guys win some money and help you all out with your fantasy lineups for soccer. We've already worked together with a couple people and helped them win some money, so I hope I can help you all out as well. Let's go ahead and dive on into the slate now. The slate we're going to be looking at today is a very interesting one. The highest priced player normally would have been Nani for Orlando City. However, he will not be playing in this game due to a suspension actually that he got last game. So this game, these games right here, we're going to be looking at some forwards that are a little bit cheaper. What I really want to do with this slate this weekend is really open up the opportunity to use midfielders. I think you could find a lot of good value with midfield plays this week, which usually you're looking for high scoring forward plays. But this week, I think the value is really in the midfielders, and there are a couple defenders as well that you can really fit into your lineups for an optimal build, really help you get the most out of this slate. Looking at the forwards that we're going to be talking about today, there's two guys that I want to mention. I think got a fantastic chance to give you an awesome return this week. And the first one's going to be Bjorn Johnson for Montreal Impact. Bjorn Johnson has been in and out of the starting lineup this season, but a couple games ago he did score twice in Montreal's last win against Inter Miami. The thing that I do love about Bjorn Johnson is that he's playing up top. He's generally got a different strike partner. Sometimes it's Romel Kyoto, sometimes Eric Hurtado. It changes from time to time. But then I'm going to also talk about the midfielder, Georgi Mihailovic, who's going to be in the central midfield area attacking, and he's going to be giving balls to Bjorn Johnson. Bjorn Johnson also has 2 or more shots in the last 3 games. He's active up top. He's going to have some opportunities in this one here against a shaky at best back line for Chicago. 7.2K, he's a pretty cheap play. My favorite discount play, or value play, I guess you could say, up top for this slate is going to be Tesho Akindele for Orlando City. I kind of talked about Orlando City, how they're going to be without Nani, and I think they're really going to have to rely on Akindele for goal scoring, for opportunities. Akindele has scored or assisted in the last 2 games, and he's had 1 or more shots when playing over 45 minutes. Because they don't have Nani in this one, I think Akindele goes over 45 minutes. Definitely starts, going to be playing up top, involved with everything that Orlando City is going to be doing in this game. And at 6.3K, why not? He's really a cheap play there that you know is going to get you a pretty decent floor of points. Start him at 6.3K. Now, we're going to talk about the midfielders. I kind of mentioned earlier that you really want to start building up from this area here. And my favorite midfield play on the slate is going to be Georgi Mihailovic, the aforementioned Georgi Mihailovic, at 8.1K. Now, he is one of the more expensive midfield plays here, but I love him in this game, in this situation. Really think it's a perfect storm for him. And I was able to find a bet on a DraftKings Sportsbook. Actually, a bet for him to score in this game is plus 650. I understand it's a little bit risky. He hasn't been consistent. He did score last game. I think he can continue that trend in this game as well. Keep in mind, Georgi Mihailovic actually started his MLS career with the Chicago Fire, so this will be a revenge game for him playing for Montreal. But just the list goes on and on about the pros for Georgi Mihailovic. He's averaging over 6 crosses in the last 3 games. Awesome floor with crosses, which is something you need in DraftKings to be successful. Also, 9 fouls drawn over the last 2 games. Really helps his floor. And then, like I had mentioned before, he scored last game. So I think he's going to have a fantastic opportunity to score in this game. Also, maybe get an assist. Another thing that just really adds to, I guess, the floor, the bottom value of Mihailovic is that he's also taking corners and free kicks for the team. More than likely, he's going to play the entire game for the team. He probably is their best player, if not one of the best players for this team. So fit him into your lineup, 8.1K. I'm really looking to build my lineup around him this week. Looking a little bit farther down at another midfielder that we've got for the Red Bulls is going to be Caden Clark at 7.8K. Based on what I've seen from the match play from Caden Clark, he's been very active up and down the field, a pretty good box-to-box midfielder. Lately, he's been playing at the attacking midfield position for the Red Bulls, and it's been paying dividends for the team. They've had quite a bit of success. I've noticed as well that Caden Clark, he is involved in some free kicks. He and Frankie Amaya will line up in kind of even on corners as well, kind of a double player option, if you will. So it's either going to be him or Amaya taking those free kicks, corners as well. But I love Caden Clark. He's had 3 goals on this season out of about 6 games that the Red Bulls have played. 13 crosses through the last 3 games. That's the part right there that's essential. That's going to provide the base for you. And like I said, he's going to be playing an attacking midfield position. Orlando City, their goalkeeper, Pedro Galezi, is a fantastic goalkeeper, had a fantastic game last game, tons of saves, but no Nani. I really think the Red Bulls have a great chance to win this game. I love Caden Clark at 7.8K. And moving on to the next midfield play is also another guy who's extremely involved in everything the team does. It's going to be Alvaro Medran for Chicago at 7.7K. Now, Medran has been fantastic this year. Like I said, he's been active, but he's also taking the free kicks and the corners for the team on almost every single occasion. We saw one occasion where Stojanovic last game took the free kick, resulted in a goal, and that was good for him. And due to an injury up top, it looks like that it's very possible that Stojanovic also plays in this game, back in the starting lineup. But Alvaro Medran is actually going to be my favorite midfield play over Stojanovic, just because of the ability that he has to take the free kicks, the corners for the team. And get this, something that's really interesting about this guy. He's had no goals or assists the entire season, but he still had a fantastic floor. 23 crosses and 12 fouls drawn over the last 3 games. So really a stat sheet stuffer for you, even though he's not scoring or getting those assists. Those scores and assists are really could just be icing on the cake for a game for him. And this one, Alvaro Medran, 7.7K. I'm using him in my lineups almost everywhere I possibly can. And then a cheap option at midfield that I think you can find a lot of value in. I kind of talked about him a little bit earlier, but it's Frankie Amaya for the New York Red Bulls. He comes in at a cheap 5.3K, which honestly is pretty cheap for a player of his caliber and what he does. I mentioned that he's involved in the corners, and from what I had seen in their games, even though he lines up with Caden Clark to take the corners, Amaya is actually taking most of the corners. Takes a free kick every now and then, which just adds to his value as well. That's something you really want to get in DraftKings, or midfielders that take corners, take free kicks. Amaya does just that. 8 crosses and 4 fouls drawn in the last 2 games tells me that he's going to be involved. He usually plays in the center midfield area, the heart of the midfield, for the Red Bulls, getting forward and coming back and playing defense. Amaya really does it all in at 5.3K. He's an awesome value right there. And then looking at defenders, so I had mentioned that some defenders can really return value in this one here, and we're going to start at Andrew Gutman at 4.9K. Now, Gutman has been injured recently, but it looks like he could possibly be returning to the starting 11 for this game. Keep an eye on that. If Gutman starts, I think he's got a fantastic opportunity to get you somewhere around 10 DraftKings points. And at 4.9K, it's a pretty good return for a defender. And Gutman, in the last 4 games, he's had a total of 17 crosses. That kind of production at a wingback position, which he will likely be playing at, is something that you obviously need to get in your lineups. And also this season, he has been able to score a goal. So he'll be up top, involved in the attack, opportunity to get an assist, a goal. I think Gutman at 4.9K is a fantastic opportunity to play this week. Just a little bit cheaper than Gutman is going to be Miguel Angel Navarro at 4.8K. Navarro's been pretty consistent this year, 11 crosses in 4 games and 9 fouls drawn in the last 2 games. Now, Miguel Angel Navarro, he's got a pretty safe floor, not a super high ceiling, I would say, but he is getting forward in the attack, which is something that's very encouraging, something I love to see out of my defenders. At 4.8K, he's a pretty good value. But my favorite defender play this week on the slate is going to be the cheapest one that we're going to talk about today. We're going to recommend. It's going to be Kyle Smith for Orlando City FC at 4.1K. Now, Kyle Smith, he assisted last game, which was fantastic to see out of him. But another awesome thing I love about Kyle Smith is that he's the only wingback player for Orlando City this year to start every single game and play a full 90 minutes. He averages 2 crosses a game, and he's had 10 tackles won in the last 2 games. He's a guy on the defense that Orlando City's really going to need to go through. I think he's going to be a fantastic catalyst in this game with the absence of Nani. We know that Pereira at midfield as well will have opportunities on set pieces, but I haven't recommended him this week just because I feel that without Nani, they're really going to struggle for goal-scoring opportunities. But I do like Kyle Smith at a cheap 4.1K to throw in a lot of production with crosses. Now, looking at the goalkeeper options, they're a little more difficult this week. Not a ton of great ones. I think the best chance that we've kind of talked about today is going to be Carlos Coronel at 5K. So I mentioned how Orlando City FC is not going to be having Nani available to play in this one. So that takes away a lot of scoring opportunities. But Coronel has been fantastic. He's got a floor of 6.3 points in the last 4 games with a ceiling of 18.3 points. Quite a bit of variation, pretty decent floor, and he's averaging 4 saves a game in those last 4 games. Honestly, I think he's got the best chance to get a shutout and a win in this one, which is something you really need to look to in a goalkeeper to have the most success in your lineups. And I think Colonel gives you the best opportunity to do that at that 5K price. So those are really the best bets that we're going to be looking at today on this slate. I was able to find a bet as well. This one's a little risky. Go ahead and take your chances with it. But Montreal, CF Montreal, to win to 0 is actually at plus 750. I know you're thinking I've talked up a lot of the Chicago midfielders in this one here. But Chicago has really struggled as of late. Before their last game that they played against Miami, getting a 1-0 win, they were shut out in the previous 3 games before that, not scoring a goal. Now, CF Montreal in no way has a fantastic shutdown defense, but I'm saying that there's a good chance in this one here that Chicago doesn't get a goal. Yes, they have opportunities and chances, but that Montreal has a chance to win to 0. It's plus 750. It'll have a very good return if it's able to hit. I think that's a pretty good bet at plus 750. So those are the bets that we're looking at this week. The players. Make sure to hit me up on Twitter at EthanKershaw9 if you have any questions about lineups, about decisions you need to make. I'm here to help you out. Also, just a quick reminder, smash the like button on this video. Make sure to subscribe to Mayo Media Network and help the channel out. Also, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on the audio podcast, and then head on over to Twitter. Follow me. I'll help you out with your contest. Good luck this week with all of your DFS contests. Go ahead and enter in some MLS contests this week. Win some money. I'll be cheering for you guys all to have a lot of success this weekend. Good luck to you all and have a fantastic weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.